Well, guys, we create this space with the hopes of just taking 20 minutes out of our day, out of our month, really, and just being able to say, hey, for 20 minutes, we want to give you a tool. We want to give you something that you can use in order to, you have to know yourself in order to lead yourself. And so the tools tend to be some very self-assessing tools, or just ways to measure both success and failure, or be able to see, downfalls, being able to see weaknesses, but also being able to just maximize your time, your efforts, your relationships, unlocking the potential of the different areas of your life. And so we're always thinking of ways of doing that. And so we thought, hey, you know what, let's get a crew, a pack of people together, and let's just, let's invite everybody in our life, wherever you're at. And let's just give you like 15 to 20 minutes of just something, a really, really clear takeaway. So today we're covering probably one of my favorite tools, 100x Leader, and but I'll let John take it away.
Yeah, 100x Leader. That means two things. 100 stands for you're 100% healthy, or you're trending towards 100% health. And the X stands for multiply. So if you think of a Sherpa is a Nepali hiker who hikes up mountains, and they help other people climb the mountain as well. They're not just making the trek themselves. And the neat thing about Sherpas is in Nepal, they're born in the womb acclimated to that altitude. And so they can climb a lot higher than other people like us who would want to go there and climb some of those mountains. And we would have to hire a Sherpa to help us get up the mountain. Sherpas know the route. They gauge the pace of the group and the health of the group. They make sure everybody's good. And they're going to carry your pack when you can't. And that is a great symbol and example of a leader. 100x leaders should be multiplying. And do multiply. That's the big indicator of a 100x leader. So I've got a short personal story. When I've been in the finance industry, I've been in ministry, I've been in nonprofit world, I've done business development, and am an entrepreneur. My wife and I have started a company and are running that. And so as I think about all the different avenues, all the different markets that I've been able to witness leadership, I came away, no matter where it was, with very little examples of what to do, models to follow as a leader. And really, unfortunately, I learned in some seasons what not to do more than I learned what to do. And so I was really searching for a model, for an example, for some guardrails or definitions. And this is a tool that's really helped. So we want to be Sherpas. Leaders are Sherpas who have acclimated themselves to the climb and turn around and go back down the mountain. You got to stop enjoying the views a little bit and from the top, and you got to help others enjoy the view of what it means to be trending towards health and multiplying that. The reality is you can't give away something you don't possess, right? And we all multiply. I mean, you see multiplication written into nature. Healthy things, healthy organisms naturally multiply. But if they're not healthy, what happens? They're decaying, they're dying. We're either multiplying and thriving or we're in decay. And so we want to see leaders, we want to see bosses be people who are worth following. The people want to follow a 100x leader, you don't have to follow an unhealthy leader. And we're trying to make a network of men and women who want to be 100% healthy and who look to multiply that, so that they also look at their other people. They look at their team and they say, hey, I want to help you get to 100% health. I want to see you trending towards that. 100x leaders are liberating leaders. We create cultures where people thrive. And Eddie's going to have some questions for us here in a second that we can ask for ourselves, like, hey, am I more of a 100x leader or not? And so you can see, thanks for sharing that. you can see the different levels of leadership. Some leaders are divisive. If you start at the bottom on the left, they're toxic, and they're draining to be around. They can suck the life out of the room or out of the conversation. And so if you think of the 0 to 100 scale, the health would be about 40% for a leader who's divisive. They're just unhealthy in different areas in their life. But a 60 minus leader, they're not necessarily divisive. They're just not very positive to be around. You don't really want to follow a 60 minus leader. And let me pull up one more thing about that. They're draining to be around. 75 plus is where most leaders typically are, as you can see. And they're going to go out of their way and help you, but typically only if they're asked. The reality is we're all busy. We all have our own jobs to do as leaders, but we have to remember that, man, to get to 100x means that we're not just doing our job, we're helping other people accomplish theirs as well. So leadership, we've heard, and Giant, whose tools these are, they've heard and pass on that leadership is love. And love is defined by fighting for the highest possible good of others. And so as we're leaders, we want to be 100% healthy for ourselves. We need to lead ourselves and be self-aware of ourselves so that we can be others aware, team aware, and figuring out how we can get our team to trend towards 100% health as well. And that requires sacrificing to fight for the highest possible good of others. So 100% healthy, multiplying leader, what is that? What does that look like? Well, it means that we're intentionally transferring our wisdom, our knowledge, our skills, our tools, so that we can multiply ourselves and those things. So, Eddie, go ahead and give us some of those questions that we can ask ourselves, how we're doing.
Absolutely. So I think one of the biggest things is knowing yourself in order to lead yourself. Ask yourself, are you feeling healthy right now? You know what I mean? How healthy are you feeling? Are you feeling like what comes out of your mouth is divisive? You're focused on others, the problems, the situations. It's really hard to see the broccoli in one's teeth. And so sometimes maybe it's easier for you to think of somebody on your team or in your world, and you think, man, they are so divisive. You know what I mean? All they do is cyber warfare. They're talking bad about this person and that person, and they're creating conflict and tension. And, sometimes it's easier to see the broccoli in somebody else's teeth. And so think about your team health. Think maybe if you don't have that self-awareness, or maybe you just were starting to introduce the tool, maybe it's easier to just assess your team and say, hey, do you have divisive people in your team? Do you have people that, create tension, division for no reason, drama, right? Well, what about those who aren't doing that? They're just negative, right? They're just draining emotionally, relationally, work-wise. They just have a negative attitude about things. They're not so bad that they're creating division. They're just, you can feel the heaviness of being around them. You can feel that they're bringing negative from other parts of their life into this space. And it's amazing because at work, I feel like a lot of the negative begins at home, begins in your real life, and then it just carries over, and then it's who you become in that space, right? How healthy are you? Are you positive, right? Are you somebody you're like, you say and live by the mantra of, my door's always open. If you need me, I'm here. Now, for me, the biggest shift in this, and for me, my learning opportunity was, I am that person. I have always been that person. And I shifted from, I'm always here, my door's always open, to going out of my way, email, conversation, and going, hey, John, hey, Isak, is there anything that you need from me? You know what I mean? How can I help you? Is there something that you need to learn? Hey, Richie or Lester, I have an opportunity for you. Can I connect you to this person? Right? A 100x leader is saying, what opportunities can I create by connecting you? How can I equip you? Fighting for the highest good of you is speaking the truth in love. Hey, bro, I see that what's going on here. You're being divisive or you're being negative. Or, hey, I see you being positive, but I don't see you going out of your way to help your team. Right? You're happy to respond to help. You're not being proactive about helping, right? And so just being able to speak the truth in love, walk in step with people, right? Patiently walking with them, showing them the process, doing it over and over, and then ultimately giving skills away, saying, hey, I have a set of tools, I have a set of ideas, I have a set of experiences. If I can share those with you, it will go a long way for you, for the team, right? And so I would say the biggest two questions to ask is, how healthy am I? How healthy is my team? And it's as easy as just going through. Don't quote me on this, all right? Don't be showing this to people that you don't want to. Me, I'm going to look bad in front of. But you know what I mean? Like put your spouse, your significant other, put your kids, put your team, put these on a name. You know what I mean? Like just create a list of names, and then right beside each one go, are they positive? Are they divisive? Are they negative? Are they multiplying? Right? There are some nurturers out there who are just going out of their way to help, to be there for you. But then there are also people even close to our life, unfortunately, who might be negative or divisive. So John.
Yeah. So some more are, who on my team needs more support, or who needs some more challenge? Leaders, healthy and multiplying leaders, ask, would my team define me as a liberating leader? Am I helping them identify their weaknesses and strengths and helping them grow? Another one is, do I need to reallocate my schedule to be more people-oriented than process-oriented? Or am I way more people and my people actually need me to be process-oriented in this season? So the last one that we've got is, am I a leader who lives more in the present or the future? And that all comes with self-awareness, and that's really helpful because there's a lot of people on our team that everybody thinks pretty much one or the other. A lot of people are visionaries, they think forward, but some people live in the present and they struggle to think forward. And so knowing our team, knowing where they live, where they think, can really help with communication and just figuring out how we can lead them and help them see the future or help them live in the present at this moment. So that's all we got for you guys. It's trending towards 100% health. And when people ask me what we're here for, what we're doing, I ask them, hey, have you ever had a boss that sucked? We help bosses not suck. And we want to help bosses just not suck, but we want to help bosses become really healthy, liberating, multiplying leaders who fight for the highest possible good of others. We're all Sherpas. We're not in this climb alone. And that's what we're here for. That's what this space is for, is to build a network of intentionally consistent leaders who are growing themselves and who are growing their people. So I love seeing you all here. It's encouraging just for us, and hopefully it's encouraging for you. We're going to send out an email tomorrow with a link and a resource. There is a book out there written by Giant Leadership that is called 100x Leader. And so we can send you the link to that as well if you're interested. The last thing we got is, if you want to be more in step or more in rhythm and go deeper, spend some more time understanding yourself, becoming self-aware, knowing yourself to lead yourself, and then becoming more others aware. We do have a cohort starting in September. If that's something that interests you, just reach out. I'll throw my email in the chat. So my email is john@surrendernetwork.com. JON.
We'll also we'll send an Eventbrite email. Some of you guys have signed up through that, but that way it's just a follow-up Guys Surrender Network for us is Matt and I, and then John. Now, our idea was, what would it look like to create a network of people, just as we work together, as we live life together, as we work on projects together, to really be for each other, right? To fight for the highest good. And so there's no real fee for that network. It's like a social concept and idea. At the biggest idea for us is, what would it look like to actually create a network? I think we had a friend of ours, actually, he might be on the call, Skylar. He'll say, yeah. He's like, when people start doing this whole we're family thing, he's like, but we're not really family. We just work together. You know what I mean? Like you don't come over to eat tacos at my house. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's when you're like, hey, that's unhealthy. You know, it's toxic, because we're not family. We're brothers. We're trending towards that. But an easy win, as Matt and I really created this concept, was, what does it look like to just say we're a network? You know what I mean? We're a network of people who are for each other. As projects come up, as ideas come up, as leadership comes up, what would it look like to create something special for people who are in Mexico, in India, in the United States, who are doing different things, who might have different needs, and ways that we can solve one another's, be a solution for one another. And then enter John, and John is he's our leadership lead. He's our leadership guru. He's the person who is just teaching us the lessons. He's teaching us the tools, and he's taking a lead on kind of creating cohorts of people who, hey, they want to go deeper, they want to learn more, they want to be leaders worth following. People who bring the challenge, they bring the support, and they learn how to calibrate that well in daily life. And so, just super excited. We'll do a follow-up email. You have John's email, and if you're interested in any of that, please follow up with him.